now. This is Patea Sala and I am here to make your everyday informative. And you're watching NCBC, your mirror of the society. Here is the breaking news for today.
Mayon volcano sparks stir the heart. Total number of evacuees has reached over 100,000. Mayon volcano leaves a remarkable eruption for Philippine history.
Good morning, Philippines! This is the National Crisis Broadcasting Center bringing you the latest news. This is just in. PHIVOX is now monitoring Mayon volcano due to its activity these past few weeks. We have Jamaica Perez on the field right now to give us an update.
Yes, Patea, we're here in Albay where AFP and PNP personnel are already evacuating the residents of Albay via military vehicle as we speak. Here we have Miss Helena on the line, one of the lead seismologists on site right now. Miss Helena, can you please give us now an update about the volcano's activity?
Well, according to the results of our seismographs, the intensity of the earthquake is rising, indicating a possible volcanic eruption within the next few weeks or days. We will be continuing on monitoring the entire area, but I strongly suggest that the nearby areas should initiate a precautionary evacuation. In the next few hours, we are expecting a lot of more evacuees at the designated evacuation centers.
Thank you, Miss Helena. Back to you, Patea.
Thank you, Jamaica Perez. Now, we have a DRRR instructor on the line. This is everyone's questions now. What should you do before, during, and after a volcanic eruption?
Patea? That is a very interesting question. A volcanic eruption can occur at any given time, so we should all be alert, especially if we are living near a volcano, as it brings a lot of hazards. I will now tell you the basic things to do before a volcanic eruption. Firstly, you should evacuate immediately, especially if you live or are staying within the danger zone. Long before the explosion, affected areas should have been given a warning to evacuate the premises by local government units. Stay tuned to the news to be updated on the current situation and stay informed with local safety plans and evacuation areas. Charging your electronics is very critical. Keep your mobile devices and power banks charged in case of power interruptions. This is common knowledge, but know the disaster hotlines and other emergency hotlines. Save these numbers in your mobile devices that can be seen in the screen. And last but not the least, prepare a go bag in case of an emergency evacuation.
Good afternoon, Philippines! This is the National Crisis Broadcasting Center coming to you live with breaking news confirming that today, on January 18, 2018, at exactly 4:21 p.m., Mayon volcano, the Philippines' most active volcano, has erupted. Down at the scene, we have Jamaica Perez live. Jamaica Perez, how is the evacuation going?
Yes, Patea, we're here again at Albay where the evacuation of all the residents of Albay are currently ongoing. Military trucks have been going in and out of the area carrying the evacuees to the evacuation center designated to the local government unit. As you can see, people are wearing protective equipment as hot ash fall in this area. Not only that, but even small hot volcanic debris such as rocks also pose a threat. AFP and PNP personnel guarding the entire city as the evacuation continues. According to one resident we interviewed earlier, they were peacefully sleeping until suddenly they felt a strong earthquake and sudden explosion. They ran outside and saw the volcano erupting.
We were just sleeping when we suddenly felt a strong shaking off the ground. Everything suddenly fell over us. We also heard a loud explosion. We are very lucky that we are near the evacuation center. Thanks,
We
God.
have here the provincial governor of Albay. He will tell us how the evacuation process. Sir, can you tell us how you underwent the evacuation despite the strong presence of Mayon?
Of course it was hard for us as the residents are hard to convince to leave their homes. We asked help from much higher authorities like AFP and PNP. They used military vehicles to carry people away from the volcano. Fortunately, we were able to evacuate residents shortly before the eruption occurred. Also, we gave each family a hazard map that also consists of the areas where there are evacuations.
Back to you, Fatea.
Thank you, Jamaica Perez. In the meantime, we have Miss Alviar, one of FIBOC's leading volcanologists, on the line right now to explain to us what kind of eruption occurred.
Thank you for inviting me on such a short notice. The eruption that just occurred was a ferrotic eruption. It occurs when magma heats groundwater or surface water. The extreme temperature of the magma caused the near instantaneous evaporation of water to steam, resulting in an explosion of steam, water, ash, rock, and volcanic bombs. The eruption also made with a large ash plume. It is imperative that the volcano be evacuated immediately, as this ash and volcanic bombs may prove deadly without proper protection. Now, here is the Lahar hazard map for the volcano. During an ash fall, citizens are required to wear face masks to avoid inhaling the ash that may contain silica. Citizens are also required to wear clothes that cover their skin completely to avoid getting burns, irritation, or allergies due to ash. Now, to ease the atmosphere here, with me right now is my assistant, Mr. Charifa, and he will tell you some facts about Mayon volcano.
Thank you, Miss Alviar. Did you know Mayon volcano, which is also the Philippines' most active volcano, is hailed as the world's most perfect volcanic cone because of its extraordinary symmetry. Starting from its first recorded eruption in 1616, Mayon volcano has erupted approximately 58 times. It is said that Mayon volcano is the Philippine counterpart of the world-renowned Mount Fuji in Japan. The worst eruption of Mayon volcano was recorded on February 1, 1814. The volcano was reported to have killed approximately 12,000 people. The longest eruption of Mayon volcano was recorded on June 23, 1987. The eruption lasted for 7 days. That's all the facts we have all for you. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Miss Alviar and Mr. Charifa, for allowing us to hear words from you.
We're here at Albay where the evacuation of all residents are still ongoing. As you can see at my background, the city was covered with volcanic ash. That's why it is advised to wear protective equipment. We can also see more AFP and PNP personnel scattered throughout the city. As by seen as surveillance drone. PBOX members are also seen monitoring the volcano closely as more eruptions may occur. Also seen by the surveillance drone are the destroyed houses and properties caused by the falling volcanic bombs. As you can see here, road also has cracks due to earthquake caused by the eruption. The surveillance drones can also see the plantations nearby. And as you can see, plantations are covered by the ash. It is estimated that the total cost for for the destroyed plantation and crops is well over 160 million pesos, also just in.
Thank you, Miss Perez. My last question is, how many evacuees are there in the evacuation area? What kind of situation they are into?
We're here live at the evacuation center. As you can see, a lot of family are currently here right now and more still arriving. The biggest concern right now is if there are enough sanitary facilities to sustain all of them. Even though there are already a lot of families here in this evacuation center, there are much more evacuees at the other center as the capacity of these centers is only small. We have gotten reports of disease such as flu is spreading at one evacuation center due to the lack of sanitary facilities.
We're really having a hard time here. Even if we didn't die from the eruption, we could die from the disease. That's why we are all hoping that everything will get back to normal soon.
And most of the families here have farmers as their breadwinners. Almost of the farmers here have gathered most of their crops which are ripe enough and only slightly unripe as they hope that they can at least make an income.
Choice. All of my crops were destroyed by the volcano. If we don't do something right now, we won't have anything to fill our stomachs.
Because of the eruption. However, the majority of all plantations and crop around the area are burnt, buried in ash, or just completely withered through the heat.
Thank you, Jamaica Perez. Please stand by and continue to update us as soon as possible. Good morning, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is Fatea Sala, and I am here to make your everyday informative. And you're watching NCBC, your mirror of the society. In the meantime, we have Miss Hernandez, one of the FIVOX leading seismologists, here at the studio right now to explain to us what happened.
Good evening, Fatea. Good evening, Philippines. Right now, the eruption of volcano is now at rest, but that doesn't mean that the nearby areas are safe yet. We will continue to monitor the volcano for any signs of remaining volcanic activity, and we also strongly advise that all areas inside or near the hazard zone are to evacuate immediately to prevent any injury or loss of life.
Thank you, Miss Hernandez, for coming here. This is Fatea Sala, and I am here to make your everyday informative. And you're watching NCBC, your mirror of the society.